Salute! Molweni mawethu. Sanibonani mzikantu. Dimelang bakhayesu. Hawusheni bakayena. Reminders. Welcome to this episode of the Reminders series. My name is Tulani Umtombeni Kakwati. Dimlo Diko. Today we are going to remind each other about the true mark of the beast. The true mark of the beast. But before we do that, let us remind each other about the true and the hidden background, prehistory of the planet. The prehistory of the planet, it is a very unpopular topic or a very unpopular story. It is a highly controversial story in nature. Very few people are currently able to talk about it openly. It's probably the most controversial teaching you will ever hear in your lifetime. I did warn you before, however, that this was going to be a very controversial journey, which is not for the weak-minded nor the weak-hearted. I did say that we are going to take off high and far. Many have never heard about it, yet many more do know about it. So remind us, let us get controversial. It is highly unavoidable at this time we are living in. We are mounting up towards the peak of the great controversy in the planet. The story goes like this. 78 trillion years ago, our ancestors descended from the star planet called Sirius. 144,000 volunteers descended from the gods of the star Sirius to populate the planet Earth. After it was made ready for humanity and animal life habitation. So after the first 1,000 years, the 144,000 descendants of the gods were now 144 million. After 7,000 years, they had increased to 1,008,000,000 or 1B8M. Then from there on, that number was kept as a maximum number of people living on Earth at any given time. So it was like that for eternity, or at least the next 7-8 trillion years of human life on this planet. At that time, only black people occupied the planet or the Earth. No other kind of people existed at that time. Descendants of the original gods lived in this earth since that time without sin till 50,000 years ago. Then 50,000 years ago, something happened. There was a concern in divinity. The concern was that the black gods eternally know all that which is good, as well as that which is evil in all of creation. But the challenge was that the gods never experienced evil, for it was eternally impossible for them to experience evil. Now, a black god who we know today as Yahweh raised this concern in eternity. He believed that God or the black gods would eternally live in fear of the unknown if a time is not cut out of eternity or in eternity to experience the evil nature that is also found within God. So it was decided then that a short time should be cut out of eternity for the black gods to experience a cycle of evil. So this became the purpose for the past 6,000 years. to know both good and evil, and to ultimately overcome evil with eternal goodness. A cycle of evil would be 6,000 years, completing at the end of 7,000 years. So 44,000 years was set aside 50,000 years ago to prepare the gene of the infallible gods to be weakened enough over 44,000 years in order for it to be able to falter or to make a mistake. In other words, 50,000 years ago, children of the gods were born whose gene would be faltered by self-forgetfulness. And they started to live in very uncomfortable ways and places for 44,000 years thereafter. The black gods, the black gene was then ready to be mutated to create a fallen state of the people. At the end of 44,000 years of this preparation, Yahweh was to lead a team of 60,000 Elohims, that is messengers or angels of creation, to start a fallen creation. How was Yahweh and the Elohim going to do this? Well, by creating a kind of people other than the descendants of the original gods. They created people. They created human species. In other words, Yahweh was going to scientifically suppress the black dominant gene of the new generations of the black people. These new races had never existed before and were going to be created by gene mutation of the descendants of the black gods. So Yahweh is the God of the light-skinned races. The very name Yahweh means Yahweh or Yabahweh, that is, King of the white or the light-skinned races. Yet Yahweh is the black God, and all the Elohims of creation are black. I repeat again, Yahweh or Jehovah is the black God, never white. By doing what Yahweh did, a white recessive gene of the black people was going to be in control of life's behaviors of new generations of mankind on earth. Yahweh was to create a situation of self-forgetfulness among the black people. This was the only way by which other kind of people or races other than the black people would come into existence. They were to operate with a white recessive gene, in other words, or white recessive gene in their bodies as their dominant feature, instead of the normal black dominant gene that is found only in black people. So a slave gene had been created from which a mutation of immoral gene was to be experienced. This was done in 4 stages, which took exactly 666 years to complete. 4 different races were created through whitewashing or weakening of the black dominant gene until the last light-skinned race was fully manifested. It took 200 years, that is 7 generations of 28 years each, to mutate the black dominant gene to create the first race group, which is the Greeks, the Latins, and the Hispanics. It took another 200 years, or 7 generations again, of 28 years each generation, to carefully breed the next race group from the first one. So the second race group was now the Semites, that is the Arabs, the Jews, the Persians, and other Middle Easterners. Another 200 years was for the careful breeding again of the third race from the second race. This was the group of the yellow races, or the yellow race. That includes the Mongolians. So it took 600 years of 7 generations of 28 years each of careful breeding to create the first 3 race groups from the black people's genes. Then it took exactly 66 years to breed out the last race, that is the Caucasian race, from the yellow race, or the yellow races. So it actually took 666 years to create the races from the black man's gene. That is why it is said that the number of this beast is 666. These races have no black gene in them, but they have the black people for their ultimate ancestry beyond their biological ancestry, which most of them only know of. So that is the true meaning of the 666 beast power. It is only not just the Pope or the church, nor is it just the political power, nor any particular power on earth. The true mark of the beast is the amalgamation of all non-black man systems in the whole of this planet, creating what we have come to know it as the world Babylon, or Babylon. The world of Babylon. Of course, there are billions of non-black people not aware of what is going on. But as much as there are also millions of black people who are not aware of what's going on, billions of non-black people are not aware of what's going on. The scripture calls the creation of these non-black races the creation of Adam and Eve. That is why the first book wherein you find this story is called the Book of Genesis. The word Genesis is actually Genesis. It's from the word gene or genes. Genesis. So Genesis is the systematization of the black man's gene to create the non-black races. Genesis refers to the mark given to Cain in the neck. That was the first non-black group of children who happened then to go on and kill the original version of children, that is the black children, who were there getting born accordingly. So also the Revelation says 666 is a number of men. That refers to the fallen state of the black God's divine gene or genes to the level of created races, the descendants of Adam. 666, mark of the beast system, is bigger than any particular individual. Not even the Pope is bigger than this system. Not even the black Pope is bigger than this system. They are just custodians of the systems, which is far and far bigger than them. These people have themselves created a monster that they can no longer control. As for the divine plan of Yahweh and Elohim, mission accomplished. Congratulations. Well done to Yahweh. 6,000 years of divine experiment is now over. 6,000. Now let all 666 beast systems fall. Bring down Babylon. Nothing is lost. All things are about to be restored to where they belong. No one has enough power to kill the eternal truth. Unto. Nobody can hide this divine truth forever. You can only kill the prophets. But the divine truth marches on. Challenged? Of course, challenged. But unsuccessfully so. The truth is always triumphant. No one person on earth is able to change that. So remind us, I'm very sorry for dropping this bomb just as it is. I mean to offend nobody. But it is about time. Now the time has come to bring down Babylon. Are you ready? Arise and shine, high and far, far and wide. Time for the white man's rule on this earth is now over. Esikakesare kukesare. Amakwala kolonina makwedingantu. Kubo. Reminders, I would like to close with this statement. The era that now is and has been, of course, made things look upside down and inside out. Christ has been made the devil, and the devil has made himself Christ. But the era that ushers itself in seeks to reverse and reset history of all origins. Christ will be the master of all things, and the real devil will gladly serve at the master's table or face self-destruction. Remind us, please remind to save today. Let us bring down Babylon. Babylon is fallen. Is fallen. Salute. Dimlo. Di.